My name's Daniel and you're watching the Rogue Clone Trooper channel, and today in the Sergeant's Corner we're talking about the clone rifle, the DC-15A. Hoorah! The DC-15A long rifle was the main heavy blaster for the clone troopers. With integrated targeting system in their helmets, this was a very accurate and deadly weapon in the right hands. The overall length of it is 1.3 meters and it held over 500 blasts. It had single fire and rapid fire. On rapid fire, the barrel did have a tendency to heat up and needed time to cool down. But that's enough about the movie specs on this rifle. Let me talk about the one I have here in my hands. I commissioned this with Justin, who's done other things for me in the past, and he did an amazing job on 3D printing this for me. So we're going to go in now and have a look about how I put this together, different problems that I had, and how I ended up with the finished item that's here in my hands. Okay, as you can see, I'm slowly building it and gluing it together. But what I'm going to talk about is what's happened here. I had sanded down the bases. I don't sand them down too much because I don't have that much to sand off. I just give them a quick sand and then I glued them, but I didn't check to see if they were straight, and they weren't. And now I've got a crooked barrel, so now I've got to cut this all apart, even though I've epoxied it together. And the epoxy is probably stronger now than the actual 3D print, but I've got to cut it apart and find some way now of straightening this. So that's the mess I'm in at the moment. Okay, our problem has been solved. I was able to saw it apart and sand it down again. What I've done now is I have reinforced it with some styrene card underneath, and then also some reinforcements on the tops. Glued it and filled up the gaps. Waiting for my filler to dry, and then I'll be sanding it and then covering it in Bondo. And basically the reason why I'm using Bondo in it is because it will fill up the printer lines and I can sand it down nice and smooth, just like this. So there we have. Problem solved and fixed. No more bend. Okay, so this is how she's looking so far. So we got round my mistake on putting on the top barrel by breaking it off again, or cutting it off should I say, re-gluing it then with a reinforced piece underneath and putting in strips of styrene down the sides to reinforce it and fill in the gap that I had made, and that was already there when, as I said before, it was my mistake. I did a bloody not paying attention to what I was doing. Okay, so that's one of the rules, is make sure you're doing what you're doing, make sure you're paying attention. Okay, as you can see, I've been putting Bondo on it and sanding it right down. I did have one little accident when I was sanding it, because I said I was going to use a sanding bit to get off a bit of support that was really stuck in, and unfortunately I melted a little hole just here. And I'm just going to leave it. That's a bit of battle damage. I like it. It's making it look a bit cool. I haven't actually gone mad in trying to get all the Bondo out, because that's going to be bits of mud in the end. Other bits have just been really sanded down really good, because I've run out of Bondo at the moment. And as you can see, it's looking damn good. This thing is, I'll put it up here against the window. This is full size, man. This thing is looking awesome, and I can't thank the maker enough for this. Okay, that's my little Star Wars pun. Thank the maker. Okay, what am I doing next? Right, okay, so I've got more of this Tamiya surface primer. Okay, I've got 3 cans of it. One of those is going for another project, so I've got 2 cans to put on and make sure this has a good coating on it. And then I've got some more of this all-weather, all-purpose acrylic outdoor paint. I've been using the white version of this on my armour and it's absolutely amazing. So I've got a big big can of black to put on this to give this bad boy a good coating and to make sure that all the fill lines are all done and it looks good. Okay, now anybody with an eagle eye has probably noticed that the little bars that should be here are gone. Unfortunately, one of them had broken off when I got it, and the other one then I decided to snap it off because it helped me then when I was doing the sanding. And don't worry, what I'm going to do is I thought to myself, oh well, yeah, buy some Allen keys. Okay, so I bought these M8 Allen keys, and these are going to be replacing those metal bars. I'm going to paint these up in silver, drill a hole, and then that's going to go in there, and that's going to replace it, and then I won't have to worry about them breaking off because these are metal and it's going to be permanent. Okay, so that will go in there and it's going to look absolutely friggin' snazzy. Okay, I might have to cut this down a bit, I don't mind, I'll do that with my Dremel, but it will go in. So there you go, that's the update at the moment. I'll come back to you with some more news later. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. I've got some Allen keys put in here to make these levers again. I'm not too sure about this silver piece, I might paint it black again. I'm still working on the weathering, but otherwise it's kind of done. There we go, and we've got some discs or some boots, because I've got some new boots as well. They will be coming up in a new video, so you're not going to see them just yet. But there you go. I have been a busy little boy because there's a big typhoon coming tomorrow, and it's going to be heavy rain and high winds, and so I won't be able to get anything done. At the moment it is just the calm before the storm, so wish us luck and hope that we can survive tomorrow. Anyway, there you go, just a quick update. Okay, and here she is, all weathered up. Well, not weathered up, but she's had a bit of weathering put onto it anyway. I also got round to painting the scope silver. It's turned out absolutely beautiful. It looks like it's aluminum now. It's really nice. I left some of the print lines in it, so it looks like the aluminum has been cut out, and it really looks nice now. I finally did paint them black again. Didn't like them in silver. I'd seen it on somebody else's and it looked good, but when I tried it on mine now it just looked terrible. So I've got to put a little bit of silver weathering on those now because I've been waiting for them to dry. But the rest of it looks pretty good. I do actually have some real screws put in. I put in some real screws to give it that bit more of a authentic look. And she's turned out pretty nice. The other side's the same. And the hexy screw things here, these have worked out absolutely great as well. So that's it. If you're wondering how I put on the silver weathering, go check out one of my videos. I'll put the link to that in the description box below, so go check that out. I've already done a video on that. But the next thing I need to do now is to weather this little bad boy up to match the rest of my armor. Okay, so yeah, this thing is turning out fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. I have no regrets now starting this because it's absolutely gorgeous. Can't wait to get some mud on it now and to wear it the costume. There you go, you can just see the lines. It just looks like it's been laid out on the lathe machine. That's how good it looks. It looks really good. There you go. Okay, so here she is. She's all weathered up. I've put basically brown shoe polish over it, the liquid polish, and wiped off as much as I can. Some of it looks great because it ends up looking a bit like rust has got into certain places. Didn't put too much on, but I just wanted it to look like it's been in battle to go with the rest of my armour, because my armour is pretty weathered up. But as you can see, there's a lovely brown hue on different spots that make it look nice and weathered. So it's looking good. It
really is. It's looking good, but it's finished now. It's all done. Just want to give you a little update on one part, on some parts of it. One part was here where I had the hole that I made. I've actually filled it up with a epoxy resin, UV resin, so that hole's all fixed and filled up. I did the same on some other spots. One of them was, but where is it now? I can find out where it is now. Oh yeah, was here because I had some very heavy lines, so I did some epoxy resin on that, and also again down here underneath. But otherwise, that's really it. There is still some heavy print lines, but you can't really see them unless you get on really right up to the weapon. But as a piece of my armor now, she's looking really, really good. These pieces turn out really well, as you can see. One's a little bit further on one side than the other, which I don't mind, because this side has the magazine to protect it. It doesn't. They've been epoxy resined in again, and they are lovely and sturdy. But that's it. That is my blaster. Right, so there you have it. That's the rifle. The only bits that I didn't talk about or show in the other parts of the video is that I put some metal gardening rods through the stock and main foregrip, sorry, the main grip part of the blaster attaching to the main barrel. I didn't do it all the way up the gun. The reason being, so I didn't know what infill Justin had done on the actual 3D printed parts, which meant then that as I drilled into the actual parts, I was breaking off some of the infill, which is now rattling around. I don't know if you can hear that inside the rifle. It's not too bad, but I didn't want that sound to get worse as I went up the rifle. Then with the mistake that I'd made at the front of the barrel and the reinforcements that I had to do to fix that part, I think it's like well and truly made up there. There's no problems with that breaking. And then with the epoxy resin that I used on it as well, it's going to hold together. Already I've had people ask me about, do I have the 3D files for these, for this, and can I give them to them? And the answer is no, I don't have the files. I don't have a 3D printer. I didn't print this. These files belong to Justin. Where he got them from, I'm not too sure. I'm sure he paid for them as well. So just emailing somebody and messaging someone saying, hey, give me the files, it's not on, guys, because listen, somebody had to build this up in a 3D print and then actually pay for the files. Okay, so it's not really a kind of good thing to do. If you want the files or you want one of these blasters yourself to make up, go on to Etsy. There's quite a few people on there who are making these and providing the files as well. Okay, again, I hope this video has been helpful for you. Anything different that I would do in the future, if I was doing this again, I'd probably put a barrel right up to the very front to put in some lights and electronics, but that is a pretty difficult thing to do because you've got to have your measurements perfect, otherwise you're going to be off and it's not going to sit properly. So really, if you're getting somebody who's going to print this off for you, if they're actually making the files themselves or can alter the files, try to get them to put a barrel space in the center of it when they're printing it. That way then everything will fit in perfectly for you. That's if they can do it for you. Okay, if I am going to do that, I'll probably do it on a shorter version of this, the shorter blaster, which I'll probably get sometime next year. But for now, I'm happy with what I've got. And yeah, it's turned out pretty well. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe. If you want to know about the weathering and that I've done out and the paint jobs, I'll put the links below. Do check out my other videos because I've already done it in other videos for people. And as always, follow us on Instagram and on Facebook. If you want to find me on Facebook, you just need to type in the Rogue Clone Trooper channel, or the Rogue Clone Trooper, and you'll find my page. It's free to join. Leave a comment, hit a like, leave us a picture if you want of what you're building as well. I'm happy to show them and put them up for people. Okay, so as always, may the force be with you.